Senator Leyonhjelm, Trump backed out of the Paris Agreement this week, saying it would save jobs and industry in the US. You have recommended that Australia abandons it also. When so many jobs in Australia depend on environmental tourism, notably the 70,000 jobs in Queensland that depend on a healthy Great Barrier Reef, why should we back out of an agreement that seeks to reduce our carbon footprint?
David.
Why should we back out of an agreement which sends many of our manufacturing jobs offshore, which seeks to close down our coal mines, which seeks to drive up the cost of electricity so that people have to make a choice between keeping their houses warm or going to bed or buying food? You know, think about people on low incomes and the electricity prices. That's a significant consequence of staying in the Paris Accord. I would, if I was Donald Trump, I mean, even if you are a firm believer in climate change, I'm ambivalent about all that. The Paris Accords did nothing for climate change. What they did do, though, so even if every country that had made commitments under the Paris Accords stuck by those commitments, and that's a very big if because there was nothing binding about it, they would reduce global temperatures by 0.15 of a degree by 2050.
Serious thing. And talking about 26% and even 45%, it's actually not enough. We have to wake up as a species because we are just animals.
I sit next to the Greens in the Senate and hear that claptrap all the time. It is absolute garbage. And there really is...
Really?
Oh.
There are no old women who are climate...
Excuse me, how old are you?
Well, I'm an old woman who believes in climate change. It's the old men who are all going to be dead by the time it actually hits.
Do you know what? China is not going to do a thing about their emissions until 2030. Not a thing. That's the Paris Accord. So we should export all our jobs to China while they just wait until 2030 before saying, oh yes, we think our emissions might have peaked now, now we'll start doing something about them.